joining this morning market watch from. My name is Kefa Eric, your market analyst here at HFM, your number one broker in Kenya and beyond. Now, um, a lot of interesting things have been happening in the world, and our eyes and lenses are focused on the United States election. And today we're going to be looking at the effect of they have had on the financial markets, or I would rather say the effects of the Trump's trade. Yesterday we defined the Trump's trade as a reflection of Trump's policies and ideas um, that he articulated to the American people when he was campaigning. And today we'll get to talk about that again. We shall be looking at our usual suspects with a few additions so as to get a broader perspective of the financial market is in these interesting times. As it stands, it is evident that Trump has emerged victorious in the United States just concluded 2024 elections. Um, and we will look deeper into the intricacies of this on the financial markets. Now, moving on swiftly, let me share my screen so that we are able to be on the same page. For those who will join when we're in the middle of it, kindly feel welcomed. And let's proceed. Now, uh, we have recently spoken about the Trump's trade, or the effect of Trump's victory in the financial markets. Um, we'll focus on two things to understand the reflection of his policies. Number one, we shall focus on taxes and regulations. Now, when you understand Donald Trump's campaign basis or foundations of taxes and regulations, it's going to be easy for you to understand why the markets are moving the way they are moving, right? Um, Number one, Donald Trump has had promised reduction of taxes for United States companies and increase of tariffs for foreign companies. Now, this is boosting investors' confidence in the United States dollar, giving investors a reason to invest in that particular part of the world, which is the United States. Now, this has had the US dollar gain its strength drastically. Number two, regulations for both local US companies and foreign companies. Of course, for local US companies, the regulations are going to be less, and for foreign companies, they're going to be more. So you see, it's kind of creating a safe haven for the United States-based companies or originated companies. But hey, guys, wait a minute. Would like to ask ourselves this question: if Harris had won, would we have the same effect? An unbiased answer to that would be yes, because the markets would not doesn't like to wait. They don't like to be uncertain. The markets love to have a definite answer, and with the uncertainties before the election, that is what was causing the consolidations like we saw the day before yesterday. And whoever who had won, who would have won, we would see the market reacts from this because of the provision of certainty in the markets, which would now give much more confidence to investors to know which particular direction or investment decisions they would have taken. Um, with that said, let's now look at how the markets have been developing. For Euro USD, from the daily time frame, we see yesterday we had a huge Marabuzu candle to the downside, which gave us a bearish vibe right here. See price printing lower due to US dollar gaining confidence as a result of the Trump's trade, a reflection of Trump's ideas and policies, which you can understand by taxes and regulation, increasing of taxes to foreign companies, reduction of taxes for US based companies, and regulation, less regulation for companies in the US and more regulation for companies which are foreign. A scenario we're likely to see in the GU, kind of consolidating right here, but yesterday we saw a wide spike to the downside. Would see this price developing moving forward. AUD USD also moving in a similar fashion. You see, like we have always said here on the market, on the morning market, watch that price fundamental and geopolitical events gives us direction, and then we would see technical analysis or areas of interest giving us entries and exits. You see this playing out over and over again. USD CHF, or the US dollar Swiss franc, we see for US dollar based currencies it is moving in an upward fashion because of the strength of the momentum strength of the US dollar right now, that we know who is the president, who is likely to conclude. Remember, they are still counting in some states, but the states they are still counting cannot overturn the decision, the direction that we have already had. USD JPY also moving in a similar fashion, being bullish. Because of the strength of the US dollar right now, we know who the president is. USD CAD also moving in a similar fashion, kind of bullish. Yesterday a little bit of spike, but price started trading in an uptrend or a bullish trend. Kind of checking on the time there. So generally would say for US dollar quote currencies, it is moving in a bearish manner. For US dollar based currencies, it's moving in a bullish fashion or manner, if you may like. For cross pairs, now we see the most anticipated cross pair, which is the GJ, moving in a bullish. Now it has a clear direction after the election, moving in a bullish direction, right? It is, however, important note before we go on to commodities and touch a little bit on stocks or indices, if you may like. All this is subjected to upcoming economic data and developing geopolitical events, and it's important to have this in mind so that you do not you go into the financial market with an open mind, anticipating these events as they come. At HFM, we provide these details through our social media platforms to keep you updated on the real data that is coming. Um, Before I move forward, I would also like to say today, which is on Thursday, we are expecting Feds, the Federal Open Market Committee, or the Fed, the Central Bank of the United States, to announce rates, and possibly they are going to cut the rates because remember, the Feds have three major roles. Number one, have a balanced inflation. Number two, make sure favorable employment, and number three, economic growth generally. So with their primary function being balanced inflation, we see the inflation in the United States right now being at around 2.44%. They like it to somewhere close to 2, which is what they consider to be balanced. We're expecting them to cut the rates a little bit so as to boost the economy. Remember, when the Feds cut their rates, what this effect has on the monetary policy of the United States, it's that the rate at which banks borrow from each other also reduces the interest rates, and the citizens can now borrow money at a cheaper price. Ever heard about cheap money? That is what exactly economic pundits would foretell. Now, this is going to be very much important moving forward, because we are going to go back to economic data and, of course, looking at geopolitical events to keep informing our buyers on the markets. Yesterday, moving on to commodity, we start with gold. We see gold was in a bearish scenario. Gold was printing bearish. Why? The certainty that was provided after Trump triumphed the United States election strengthened the dollar, and now gold started depreciating in its value. Um, this is quite a unique scenario because we understand that gold is to be understood in two layers: number one, economic data; number two, geopolitical events. And from what we saw yesterday, it would be interesting to see now how price plays out moving forward. With that said, for stocks, this is the US 100. We see quite an interesting scenario here, breaking its all-time high, I think right here, and price now indicating a strong bullish momentum. Again, why is this happening? It's because of investors' confidence in the US dollar and investors' confidence in the economy of the United States because of the policies that Trump articulated when he was campaigning, or in short, you can call it the Trump's trade. We will likely to see this on also Nasdaq and S&P 500 be trading in a bullish. So for those who like trading indices, this would be a good time to consider this. Remember, guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your due diligence. Don't just jump in. Do your due diligence so that you make informed decision. This will be a pre-recorded YouTube video. Kindly go to the HFM YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and click on the notification button so that you are not left out or on such important content coming out, which will be informing your buyers of investing in the financial markets. Now, with that said, I would like to say see you tomorrow, the same place, the same time, to do things the same way. Until then, keep safe, take care, and remember to observe risk management. Thank you, guys, and cheers.